the Whitetail woods. Although I do have a moose tag in my pocket too, so part of me is hoping it's the welcome to the moose woods. But November 7th today, and this is about the time where we're really starting to see deer, pretty good deer movement. That time frame from November 1st to November 10th, really, you see a lot of bucks on the move, running scrape lines, moving through transition areas, going from bedding area to bedding area, checking where the does are. It's a good time to catch a buck traveling. Bucks will put on miles during this time, and then they get into the rut period where they're actually picking off does and mating. And then towards the end of the month is the same thing as what you see now, maybe even more intense though, when they're running around looking for the last set of does.
Uncertainty is probably the best word to describe my frame of mind as I headed into the 2025 whitetail season. With really no target bucks on trail camera prior to November 1st, the first few days were spent jumping from spot to spot in multiple different areas, searching for a big one. It was an unfamiliar feeling, but it presented a greater challenge than previous years, and that was something that I was excited about.
Well, happy Remembrance Day. November 11th. Pretty significant day for all of us here in Canada. There's no greater sacrifice than to put your life on the line in the pursuit of freedom, and that really is what today is all about. Remembering all those brave young men and women from World War I, World War II, even our veterans of today who continue to get deployed all over the world in the attempt to keep peace and allow us to do what we're doing here today. We live in the greatest country on earth. I'll keep my opinions to myself on our current situations, but really, greatest country on earth with so much potential. There's a deer coming right now.
Yep.
minutes before, I could see a deer coming down through the trees. And then she bolted. And there was a buck come running right in behind her. They crossed just up top there. And then I'm assuming that's probably the same buck that was just kind of circling back. Maybe not, but yeah, I had a buck chasing a doe. Young buck chasing a doe across that line. And then he shows up, so a little bit of action. Too bad it's not a 190-inch deer that's chasing that doe.
Yep. Yep.
Made it in here. It's I've actually been in the blind for probably half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. Took me a little longer than usual to get in here. It's a long quad ride in here. There was a couple of trees I had to move, so probably should have given myself a little more time, being it's the first time I've been in here in quite a few weeks. But pretty pleased with the amount of tracks and sign coming in here. Having said that, I have a trail camera just right down at the bottom, so they do all their crossing in this little saddle about 50 yards down the hill from where I'm sitting. Water hole is just down, I don't know, another 50 yards past that. And I got deer. There's deer, there's moose on camera, but not a single shooter buck. So I'm not, like, it's November 14th. And I know, I've said in the past, if you don't have shooter bucks on camera, don't worry. But it sure lowers the confidence level when you don't have something on camera. There was 3 really good bucks in here last year. And I can't see them just up and, all disappearing or dying. And even if they did, you would think another big buck would come in and take over, but there's nothing yet. And with the amount of does in here, I gotta believe that there'll be a mature buck in here at some point. 16th, and I'm in a brand new spot. Brand new. Brand new as in I drove 3 hours from home to get here. Decided to come up and spend a few days with some buddies up in their deer camp. I was hoping to get here a lot earlier this morning, but had a bit of a late night last night. Forgot all the food, had to turn around and go back. So, got up to camp about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Decided to go for a quad ride, and I got maybe 20 minutes into my quad ride and came through this stretch on this line right here. I mean, it was bounded with scrapes. There's scrapes all the way down this line. There's trails that are cutting across. I decided I'm just going to pop the blind up. As I was popping the blind up, I had a buck cross right 20 yards in front of me, just a little forkhorn. And then just as I was getting set up inside, there was a buck, 150 yards down the line, chasing a doe right towards us, and then they cut in right in this bottom here. So those will probably be the only 3 deer I see today now. But got pretty good hopes here. A lot of deer up in the bush this year, so we're going to sit back and see if we can't find ourselves a big gnarly bush buck. Well, I just got a text from Crystal. She's been sitting in a tree stand since 7 o'clock, 7:15 this morning. She's seen 6 bucks, and she just shot one. So I'm just waiting to hear back. But we'll see what she says. I'm a long ways away from there, but I might take off out of here and go give her a hand. But that's pretty awesome. She just continues to amaze me. She goes out on her own when I'm out hunting, and this will be her, I think, her 3rd or 4th buck now that she's got all by herself. It's pretty awesome. Can't wait to see it.
For those of you that have been following the channel for a while now, will know exactly who Crystal is. About 7 years ago, with really no prior experience, she decided to take up hunting. What you'll also know is that she is no stranger to killing big whitetails. Back in 2023, she got trail cam pictures of a huge bodied buck with very unimpressive headgear. That buck was not on our target list, but later in the season, we did get the chance to see that deer in person.
He's so cool.
So not a deer that had real impressive antlers, but the body on that deer was incredibly big, and I was just impressed watching him work that valley, run that smaller buck off, chasing his doe around. I didn't know what that deer would grow up to be. He already, to me, looked very old, so there wasn't a lot of confidence that he would grow into much more, but still, to me, a very impressive deer, and one that I was excited to kind of watch over the next couple of years if he stuck around. In 2024, we got a few more pictures of him, and again, very weak in the antlers, but massive body. Crystal and I both thought this was a very old deer going downhill. Fast forward to 2025, October 6th to be exact. Just days after putting up a cell cam on a field edge fence line, photos came in of an incredible buck. It took us a few minutes to figure it out, but there was no denying it. That old buck had grown himself a set of antlers that now matched his incredible body size. I knew, after seeing those pictures, there was no other deer that Crystal was going to be happy with. And she proved it in early November while we were out sitting in one of our local, normal, familiar spots when a really good deer came out in front of us. Yep. Really cool encounter, but after passing that buck, it was clear that in order for Crystal to pull the trigger this year, it was going to have to be on something very special. Fast forward to November 17th. The following pictures are the result of an incredible hunt that Crystal had that morning. After 5 hours in one of her favorite stands, actually the stand that she shot her buck from in 2023, I believe, the old buck, the buck that had finally grown a set of antlers to match his incredible body size, came strolling down the line, and at 20 yards from the base of her tree, Crystal made no mistake. Unfortunately, with me being 2 hours away, there was no video of her hunt, and it is my biggest regret of the season. This buck is Crystal's biggest buck to date. Incredible hunt that she had, incredible buck, and huge congratulations out to her.
Nice guy. Talked to him for a bit. Here he was set up in a tree stand just down the line here at the quad, so came out to talk to me. So I didn't want to mess his hunt up. So I left there. I came back, and probably a mile or so away, and just decided to walk up in here. There were some pretty good trails going across the quad trail. So I came up in here. There's a couple of big scrapes right down here. I don't know, it looks decent, but not where I planned to set up, so. I think I can hear a deer.
That. 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 Well, I might regret that one. That was a nice buck. He's a 5x5 with a split brow. I had him right here at 20 yards and I let him go. He's a nice deer.